Drop the stick. Hi folks, I'd like to welcome you all to the Florida Everglades. I want you to join me today on a trip through the Everglades to just have fun, okay? We're going to see the Everglades from the viewpoint of the animals down low in the water, and you're also going to meet friends along the way that have helped me make this video. We're going to have a great time today. Let's go see the Everglades like the locals see it, right down in the glades. Come on everybody, let's go.
Woke up in the morning, gonna have some fun. Drive down to Loop Road off of Highway 41. Jump in the water, splash through the sun. It feels we never left, although the years have gone. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun on Highway 41. Alligators can bite down hard. Cottonmouth are swimming at the edge of the pond. Couldn't tell you, but it's been so long since we had so much fun and been with nature's one. Say, I'm gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun on Highway 41.
This is really exciting. I love to take my camera and just stick it right up in an alligator's face like this. Look at this alligator. He's got 3 eyelids. One is just like ours. It blinks to clear the eye. The one you're looking at now is a nictitating membrane. It's an underwater mask, so the alligator can actually see underwater. Over its eye is a hard bone that he can close down during a fight to protect his eye, or even when he's going through thick brush. This alligator knows I'm here, but watch him. He's just gonna sit, then take off. Look at this, how he just blends right in as he nestles in to the leaves on the bottom. He knows I'm still following him. He's gonna get real nervous and take off right now.
Alligators are freshwater creatures. They don't like the salt water. The water surrounding us is the drinking supply for all of South Florida. The water is all fresh, clean water.
Now, as the water levels drop at this time of the year, this can be a little dangerous. I'm feeling around on the bottom with my feet. I'm hoping I'm not going to touch the business end of an alligator as I do this. If I touch the tail end, he's just going to zip out in front of me with no worries. Okay, now I always talk about January being our high season, May being our low season. If you look around me right now, you can see I'm on a big mound of mud. This is usually underwater, but right now we're in April, going into May, which will be the lowest part of the season. June and July will start the rainy season and bring the water levels back up. I was just here 6 weeks ago, and the water was right about here. Just 12 weeks ago, the water was actually almost as high as the log you see me sitting up against right now. And we're going to go into the dry season. If you look around, as things dry out, they die. Plants, little fish, crustaceans, and all this really does is make fertilizer till about the next 4 to 7 years to when it dries out again. Every year it'll go down low like this. Sometimes it'll go so low there won't be any water around us at all. But right now it's just perfect. We're hoping that it's going to dry out a little bit more. The rainy season will be around the corner. It'll all fill back up and be beautiful again. Walking through the Everglades, no two places look the same. You're surrounded by beauty, and you could get lost so easily. I always tell people that alligators are territorial and that they really don't hang out with each other, but there are exceptions to every rule. If you look over my right shoulder here, you're going to see a lot of alligators in one spot. This is a really cool thing right now. As the water levels drop, all of the alligators have to go to water. Sometimes you'll have big pools like this. All of the alligators have to hang out with each other. After 200 million years of being on this earth, one thing alligators have learned how to do is to coexist with each other when they have to. Now when May comes along, it's going to be real low, and there'll be even more alligators in this pond. As the rainy season comes and the water gets deeper, these alligators will all go back to the same places where they were, because right now where they were, there is no water. So they're all forced to hang out with each other, and it's a cool thing that the animals can learn how to get along with each other in times of drought and times of when they really have to. Now, if you look in the trees, you'll see the birds are nesting in the trees. The birds like to nest where the alligators hang out. What happens in this situation is it works out good for the birds and good for the alligators, because what will happen is the alligators will actually keep the nest safe from predators. Possums, raccoons, rats, things like that will try to crawl into the trees and get into the nest to eat the eggs or the babies. Well, as they come up, the alligators will most of the time get them, and the alligator gets to feed better because things are coming to the trees to get the birds. Now, also, if a bird falls in the water, a baby sometimes is pushed out of a nest and falls into the water. That's another meal for an alligator. So the alligator is actually protecting the babies for a while. I mean, it could turn around and the babies could be eaten, but those babies who make it will come right back here and nest again because the alligators are here to protect them. Walking through the Everglades, we're surrounded by so many beautiful plants. Too many to mention, but this one I just have to show you. Got a lot of ferns around us right now. But if you look at this little dried up fern right here, this is called a resurrection fern. This fern looks like it's dying and gonna die. But believe it or not, this fern can dry up for 50 years. One drop of rain will make this fern bloom in just a matter of days. It's a resurrection fern. Reptiles can feel vibrations in the water. It's really hard to sneak up on them. So we're going to go up on the road where it's a lot easier to find snakes. Oh, cool. Here we have a common brown water snake. A lot of people mistake this snake for a water moccasin, okay? Sometimes a snake might fall in a boat now and then. Some people have shot holes in their boat thinking this is a cottonmouth moccasin. But he does have like a triangle head. And when he's threatened in any way, he'll actually flatten it out and he'll try to make himself look like a moccasin. Let me see if I can catch him. A lot of times if you go slow, even a wild snake like this that's never been picked up will actually let you pick him up. Check him out. He's being a great snake. Check. He's a little upset. Let's see if we can catch him up here. As long as I don't hold him tight and let him think he's getting away, he'll go ahead and let me hold him like this. But we're gonna go ahead and let him go. Here we go, put him right back here where he's at. Now look how good this snake blends in. Snakes are really tough to find, but sometimes we get lucky and find them right in the middle of the road. Okay, here we have a cottonmouth moccasin in the middle of the road here. We're gonna stop and check him out. Deadly snake. A snake, he might be little, but this snake, if he were to get me, it's a 2-hour drive to any hospital from where I'm at. It wouldn't be a very nice thing. If you look at him, you call him a cottonmouth moccasin because look at his mouth. White as can be when he opens it up like that. You see the 2 fangs sticking out right there. Make a mistake around the snake, and you're gonna be in big trouble. Let's see if we can pick him up here. Okay, try to get him to spread out a little bit. He tucks in like that, makes it real hard to try to grab his head. So what I'm gonna do is try to mess with him a little bit, get him to straighten out a little bit. That way, I can pin his head and try to pick him up. All right. All right. Cottonmouth moccasin. Now, see if I can get a stick up on him here. Try to get him to open his mouth a little bit and check out those fangs. You can see him biting down hard as he can on that stick. Now, one of those little fangs were to get a hold of me right now, I'd be in deep, deep trouble. This is a cottonmouth moccasin. You can look at him. Earlier, I had that common brown water snake in my hand. If you look at the pattern on this snake, almost looks like that common brown water snake. Don't be fooled. You make one mistake with this snake, and you're gonna be in big trouble. You can see my hands shaking a little bit. I'm a long way from a hospital right now, folks. So I know if this snake hits me, he's hot and I'm in big trouble. He's a pit viper. If you look up at his nose, you see the little pits on his nose there for detecting any heat close to them, any movement at all. Okay, let's go ahead and let this snake go. Although he's a venomous snake, I would never hurt a snake. This snake is not here to come after me or bother me. He just balances out nature. Okay, let's let him, let's take him over here and let him go in the water. Okay, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go. Let's get out of here. Don't want anybody to step on you. Have to bite you. There you go. See them slither on this old. Well, we're going to leave this part of the Cypress and we're going to head to a place called the Jetport. It's a really deep, clear lake. The otters have a great time there because they can see in a long distance. So we're going to go over there and play at the Jetport lakes now. Come on, let's go. We're going to come out of the Cypress right now and head down the Tamiami Trail and stop at one of my favorite places to look for otters is the Jetport Lakes. The lakes are deep, they're clear. The otters really do nothing but have fun in the lakes. So what we're going to do is come off of this dirt road out onto the paved road, head for the Jetport. The cool thing about the Jetport Lakes is it's so clear. You can see the otters swim away for almost 30 or 40 yards away. You can really see how sleek and smooth they are in the water. Okay, Jetport Lakes are right over here. Let's go check it out. It's really cool. Come on, folks. Swimming with otters is so much fun. And they're so cute and cuddly. But you know what? An otter can be a very dangerous animal. A full-grown river otter can actually take down a 6-foot alligator when protecting its young. But look at how cute they are. Faces in the grass, searching around with their whiskers. Once they find something with their whiskers and it takes off, they're gonna chase after it really fast. Otters are so quick in the water, almost nothing can catch them. Now, I can't hold my breath as long as an otter can, so I have to come up and take a breath now and then. But let's take a deep dive with the otters. We're going to go down about 30 feet right here swimming with these otters. Now that was a refreshing swim, but you know what, folks? We got a lot more to do. All right, Jetport, great place to come and swim in the lakes. The water's crystal clear, had a great time with the otters. Tell you what, we're out in the middle of the Everglades, right on the Cypress line. We're gonna go out to a favorite spot of mine to stand on a big pile of rocks on top of a levee so that we can look out over the river of grass and be able to explain to you what the river of grass is all about. And then after that, we'll go ahead and go airboating in the river of grass and have some fun on the airboats. Okay, right now we're 20 feet above the water line of the Everglades on top of the levee. If you look behind me, it's really tough to see into the Everglades, even 20 feet above the water line. But what we're gonna do is go up on the top of this big mound of rocks, about 20 feet higher, then you can really see way out into the Everglades and see the vastness of the Everglades. Let's go up to the top and check it out. Oh, and by the way, folks, this is the closest thing to a mountain that we have here in the Everglades. Everything else is just flat from central Florida on down to the Florida Bay. Oh, not only have we got a great view from up here, but look at the sunsets that we get here in the Everglades. They're absolutely beautiful. Step over and we'll check this out for a couple of moments. Okay, now right now we're about 40 feet above the Everglades. If you look behind me, you can see how vast the Everglades is. We're actually looking out about 20 miles behind us. To the east is where US 27 would cross from the north to the south on the eastern edge of the Everglades. Okay, if you look over my shoulder, we're looking out to the west where the sun is setting. It's absolutely beautiful out there. About 25 miles out there is the center of the state where the cypress forest starts. Right now we're in the center of the river of grass. And it's absolutely beautiful. Look how vast it is around us. This is the best viewpoint of all of the Everglades in this area at the top of this pile of rocks. In most of my videos, you see me on an airboat cruising through the Everglades at water level, so you don't get to see all the vastness of the Everglades. Now we've looked from the east to the west from the top of this pile of rocks. This way, out behind me now, is to the north of the Everglades. This goes all the way to the sugarcane fields, which is 27 miles away from Lake Okeechobee. That's northward. Back here behind me now, you're looking towards the Florida Bay. About 40 miles south of us starts the Florida Bay, the end of the Everglades. The Everglades has sides to it. No side to the south side at the Florida Bay. To the east, we have a water's edge. To the west, we have a water's edge. And 80 miles north is the water's edge up by Lake Okeechobee. What we're going to do now is go back to the airboat and we're going to go zooming through the Everglades and check out the Everglades from water level on the airboat like we were doing earlier. Just wanted to show you what it looks like from up here. It's absolutely beautiful. When you're way up high in the Everglades, it can actually see across the sawgrass. So we're going to head back and we're going to go back to our airboat.
Over water like a pebble on a pond. Just a big ski with an engine working hard. Speeding through the grass with the cypress on my left. Ain't no one can stop me cause this bad boy is the best. I'm told by many that a while before I was born. My name is Gatorman, see the bite scars on my arm.
We're airboating to a favorite swimming spot of mine. Here, you're going to see why my friends call me Gatorman. I love to swim with wild alligators. Here I get to swim with a 7-foot alligator. To quote a late and great friend of mine, Mr. Johnny Strong, I am the wildlife here in the Everglades. Stay there. Come on. Good boy. Come here. Good boy. Stay. Come here. Come here. It's okay. It's okay. Come here. It's all right. It's okay.
There's a man, his shoulders lame, walking through the cypress by the water banks. Music in the hollow trees, hear it when the wind brushes through the leaves. I don't know, but I've been told there's a man that walks with gators go. Gator man with a blade in hand, carving out his name for the love of the land. Gator man with a blade in hand, carving out his name for the love of the land.
It's okay.
here I'm doing what I love to do, swim with alligators. This alligator isn't mad at me. She's not going to try to attack me in any way. I already know that. Gators, if you give them a way to leave, will opt to leave rather than turn on you. If she did turn in my direction and spook me, I would just dip underwater and go in another direction and get out of her way. I've actually had gators dip underwater and bump right into me. But listen, if a gator grabs me, I know to freeze. If I freeze, good chance this alligator's just gonna let me go. If I do fight in any way, it's a natural reaction for an alligator to clamp down with up to 2,000 pounds per square inch of biting power. You can't get away from it. Now, as I swim along with this alligator, we're gonna kind of push her up against the shoreline here. She's gonna feel a little cornered, and she's gonna dip underwater. Yeah, I do get a little bit nervous when they do that, not sure which way they're gonna go. But as long as I'm not a threat to her, and if I don't have food, I really don't have too much to worry about. Most people get bit at park and recreation areas where people are feeding alligators hot dogs, chicken, and hamburger. As long as you don't feed them, there's really not too much to worry about. And we're just gonna let her go on her way, and I'm gonna go ahead and swim back to the shore here.
Look at that.
Nice swim.
You enjoy that?
Oh, that was great. Are you kidding me? Man, I still haven't lost my leather.
What's up, buddy?
Don't believe a freaking word they're saying. They don't know nothing about the Everglades.
Hey, this is our first time here. Shut up.
You're a bunch of idiots.
You guys are forced from Ohio, man.
Those are my buddies.
How big was that alligator?
Probably 6.5 feet long. He wasn't all that big, but he's a nice one. There's a couple times he got real close. I got in that strike zone, and that's when I really worry. But I usually don't try to put myself in that situation too often, but heck, you had a camera in your hand, so why not? But look at all these people having a great time out here. We're actually 22 miles from Tamiami Trail, north of it, right on the cypress line, where the cypress meets the sawgrass. And this is L28 channel. It's real shallow right here because they pushed it in a little bit. And it's a great place to come and hang out. If you don't own an airboat, you do not know this place exists. It doesn't. All these people own airboats. They're able to come out here in the middle of nowhere and just get away from it all. You see all the kids playing in the water. Nobody's worried about alligators. These people all grew up out here. I'm nothing special. These people all know the gators aren't after them.
Is that AP?
But what a way to spend Sunday afternoon.
Is that a Don's boat? Is that a old Don's boat? Or just the engine?
Here we go, taking off on the airboat again. Airboats are so much fun. It's a giant ski with an engine on the back. It's really the only vehicle you can take through the Everglades because the water is so shallow and we have to travel through this high grass. Right now we're headed south to the Tamiami Trail with the cypress on the right and the open grass on the left. We're going to go back to the car and head over to Otter John's house. That's where I keep my alligator, Wild Carrie, in her habitat. And what we're going to do now is a little dangerous, but to us, it's a lot of fun. Otter John's house is more an animal sanctuary. He builds big habitats for the animals so that they can roam around and really live the good life. Come on, let's go see. Well, we left the Everglades. Now we're at Otter John's house, Wild Florida Productions. For those of you who got access to the internet, you can go to otterman.net and see where I keep my alligator. Beautiful habitat I keep her in. I really love my alligator, so I take good care of her. Her name is Wild Carrie. She's 6.5 feet long. Right now, she's under this bridge that I'm sitting on because she knows I'm coming in here. The thing about gators in captivity is that they know that you're going to catch them and do a show with them. And they're pretty smart animals. After a while, they'll learn all of our techniques. So she's not going to let me take her out of here just like that. I'm going to have to go in and catch her. If I'm not careful doing this, she could reach right around and grab me. Luckily, it's her tail sticking out and I'm able to pull her out. Now as I pull her around, you're gonna see her mouth is wide open and full of teeth.
Okay, now that we got her, what we're gonna do is tape her up, take her out in the front yard, show you a few of the techniques that alligator wrestlers use whenever they're working with alligators. You can see, she's not all that happy with me right now. So what I gotta do is tape her up, make her a little safe. We'll take her to the front yard. Here we go. First of all, hands over the eyes to relax the gator. Now, gators are real smart. They learn all of our routines. If we don't watch what we're doing and skip up and switch our routine now and then, they do know what we're up to and what's gonna happen. There she goes. All right. And here we have semi-safe alligator. Now, one day I was doing a show down in the Keys with Otter John. We started wrapping the alligator's mouth. We made 2 wraps around and I ran out of tape. Well, that was a big mistake. Being as complacent as we can be, figuring, we're just gonna take her and put her back in her pen, we didn't bother going to the van to get more tape. Well, we came back, I took her out of her carrier, and I was carrying her back here. She was in my arms. She kind of slid backwards, and when I threw her forward, the tape snapped right onto my arm. She went. So I ended up going to the hospital that day in a lot of pain with a lot of stitches. If you zoom in on my arm right here, I'll show you what it looks like when an alligator grabs you. You look right there, this is where she was stuck to my arm for about 3 minutes. My best friend, Otter John, came and got her off of my arm. That's how I know he's my best friend, is because he had to take a chance of getting bit to get this gator off me. Okay, let's try to pick her up and get her out front for a minute where we can work with her a little bit.
This gator is heavy. You can see her squirming around, using every muscle in her body trying to break free from me. She does settle down as I walk her through the front yard, but she could explode at any moment. Whoop! Natural reaction to jump like that. I know the alligator's mouth is taped, but when they jump at you like that, you always flinch. It's just safer to tape the alligator's mouth up like this whenever you're going to work with them. Okay, let's put the hands over the eyes, jump off real quick.
Okay, I'm going to show you a couple of tricks about alligator wrestling. These are things that wrestlers do as style, okay? This one I'm going to do next is what can mess up my fingers really bad. I've had my fingers popped in alligators' mouths before. It doesn't feel good. Let's hope today it doesn't turn out like one of those other days. Here we go. First, gain her attention. Here we go. Head up. Now she's getting upset with me. Here we go. Oh, it may look like I'm hurting this alligator by pulling its tail. That tail is solid muscle. Toughest muscle on the whole alligator except for that mouth. That mouth slams down, 2,000 pounds per square inch of biting power right there. If the gator grabs you, you're not going to get away with it. The more you fight, the longer the gator hangs on, the worse it's going to be for you in the end. Here we go. go. Woo! Good girl. Now, show you how quick they are. Keeping her eye on me at all times. Okay? Okay.
Wild Carrie doesn't always just sit under the bridge with her tail hanging out and make it easy on me. Every situation is different. Here I am in real close quarters with her trying to grab her by her tail. Whoop, she almost got me right there.
Good girl, grab that stick, go that way, grab the stick.
Now in this next sequence, I am going to get bit. It's going to get pretty graphic.
Okay, good girl. Ooh, you have to be that far, man. Look at that. That is incredible. She's so smart. Look at that. She won't fall. She won't fall for the nose tap. Yeah, I know. Good girl. Oh, look.
That one almost got you.
Grabbing gators at the wrong time. I made a mistake. Got too close. My gator, as you can see, bit me. It's a good one. I mean, I felt the snap. I felt it go to the bone. But that's not too bad. I thought it was worse. I thought it was a lot worse, but it still isn't very good. God, I hate it when that stuff happens. I hate it. Snap a picture or two, quick. Ready? Well, we got to wash this out. Oh man, it feels like it went all the way through. I don't know. It could have went halfway and halfway, but ow! Feels like it went all the way through. But gators got so much bacteria on their teeth. Oh, if you get bit in any way, you've got to take care of it. I'm trying to just pump everything out of there that'll come out of there. You can see it's not really a big, this one is nothing. That's just went in, made a little tiny flesh wound. But that went in there pretty good. That's going to leave a scar. Okay. Go see what it did to the car, Ricky. Susie's going to be really upset. We always talk about getting bit by an alligator, and it happens all the time. Every once in a while we get bit. But very rarely do we get nailed by the end that's not the business end. Oh, that felt good. Business end should be the front end, where all the teeth are at. But if you look at my nose just a moment ago, you saw that gator smack me in the nose with the tail. Well, it feels like it broke my nose, split it open a little bit. It's going to be all right. It's just a little cut, but that's what can happen. Even in the other end of the alligator can get you if you're not watching what you're doing. So I picked that gator up, slapped me upside the head, and I'm gonna go clean it up now, okay? Well, folks, you've seen me do a lot of dangerous things. Please don't ever think it's okay to get in the water with an alligator or grab a venomous reptile in the middle of nowhere. I've been handling reptiles all my life. I'm an expert at what I do. Please don't try any of these things, okay? Well, I'm going to get back to the Everglades where I belong. Bye, Penelope. Mwah.
Here you can see that the habitats at Otter John Sanctuary are so big that the animals can run around and wear themselves out if they want to. Let's go check out the rest of the sanctuary as we leave. Joby, Barkley, Susie, Charlie. Hey. Hey, how y'all doing, huh?
Well, folks, I hope you had a great time on this little adventure through the Everglades with me. The way I see it, if I'm having a great time, y'all got to have a great time with me. So when you do come to Florida, please come see the Everglades. It's a trip you'll never forget. It's a very wonderful place, and it'll stay in your memories forever. Hey, I think I hear one of my alligator friends over here calling me. See you, folks. Have a great day. I think I scared him.
Skipping over water like a pebble on a pond. Just a big ski with an engine working hard. Speeding through the grass with the cypress on my left. Ain't no one can stop me 'cause this bad boy is the best.